Good morning, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I will determine if probable cause exists for your charges. Probable cause simply means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this morning, I presume that you're innocent to these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings, unless and until the state attorney's office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release this morning, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit, or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be, and if you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this morning. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. Y'all solemnly swear, affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Erica Clark. Morning, Ms. Clark. What's your date of birth?
June 5th, 1993.
Erica, I've got warrants on 3 different cases. Each one was signed by Judge Toner. In each case, he found probable cause for violation of community control, I guess. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself? You want to hire private counsel? Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
I have an attorney.
Okay, who's your lawyer?
Matthew Wells.
Okay, does Mr. Wells know where you are this morning?
Yes.
All right, we're good. Bond on those warrants is no bond. I can't change that. I'm going to change your date to the 26th of November. They told you the 27th. I'll have you back on the 26th. If you speak to Mr. Wells, make sure you mention that to him, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Katrina Cook. Morning, Ms. Cook. What's your date of birth?
3794.
Oh, yes. All right. Ms. Cook, the charge is battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
The public defender.
I'll appoint the PD state.
I'm not showing any history, Your Honor.
Okay. Katrina, I have an address for you on Main Street here in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
And at least through yesterday, that's where Miss Mitchell was living as well?
Yes, we're,
Okay. And it looks like that arrangement was changing. Is that correct?
yeah, we were in the process of it when this all happened.
Okay. Do you have a job these days, Katrina?
Yes, we work together.
Okay. What do you guys do?
Warehouse, integrity stopping.
Okay. All right. I'm going to set your bond, Katrina, at $10. Condition of the bond is that you have peaceful contact with Jessica. Of course, it's always a crime to touch her any way she doesn't want to be touched. It would be a violation of the conditions of pretrial release to have any contact with her that couldn't be described as peaceful contact. So you don't have to have contact. That's up to you guys. I'm just saying if you do, it has to be peaceful contact. I'll have you back in court on the 5th of December, and very important that you contact the public defender when you get out, all right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jessica Mitchell. Morning, Jessica. What's your date of birth?
December 28, 1984.
Jessica, also a charge of battery being domestic in nature. Also, there's probable cause. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State any history.
No, Your Honor.
Jessica, you were paying attention a moment ago when I was talking to Katrina?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's the same deal for you. We set the bond at $10. If you choose to have contact with her, it has to be peaceful contact. If you have any contact which isn't peaceful, you could wind up back in jail without bond. I have you back in court on the 5th of December. Very important that you contact the PD's office when you get out as well, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck. Amra Depanovic. Morning, Amra. What's your date of birth?
October 5th, 87.
You have a charge of battery. There's probable cause for the charge, and I think it's as a second or subsequent. It is. So as to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Defender.
I'll appoint the PD, State.
Your Honor, I'm showing that she's a multi-source offender. I'm showing an aggravated assault conviction out of state, assault causing bodily harm, and that's all I'm showing, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, Amra, I have an address for you on Clement Road in Lutz. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How long have you lived there?
A year.
Do you have a job these days?
No, sir.
How long has it been since you worked?
Few months.
Set your bond at $1,000. Condition of your bond is that you'll have, while this charge is pending, you'll have no contact with Juana Morales. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message. You don't contact her through any social media. Don't go where she lives. Don't go where she works. You don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting her, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and I find out about it, your bond will be revoked and you'll be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if she wants to contact, so if you answer your phone and hear her voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see her, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that she cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision she'll be allowed to make. She may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges, but that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. I'm going to have you back in court on November 27th. Very important that you contact the public defender's office when you get out, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Danielle Kumas. Morning, Ms. Kumas. What's your date of birth?
9974.
Ms. Kumas, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for 2 counts, felony driving on a suspended license and leaving the scene of an accident. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
I guess I have one because I'm already sentenced. So
What are you sentenced to?
1129,
Okay, with your EOS.
521.
Okay. Well, we'll appoint one here. I'll leave the bonds per the warrant, but obviously you can't get out because you're serving your sentence. We'll get you into court later this month, and I'm sure they'll work out something that doesn't change your EOS, okay?
Thank you.
You bet. November 27th.
Judge, is that before you?
No, it's a felony to Lois Ray. I would have resolved it right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. They don't let me handle those things, you know that. Mental perspective. Eric Berg.
Just want to make sure he gets taken care of.
Morning, Mr. Berg. What's your date of birth?
12/22/63.
Eric, I have 3 warrants this morning. All 3 were signed by Judge Merritt. In each case, he found probable cause for violation of probation. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You plan on hiring private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD to represent you. The bond on those warrants is no bond. I can't change that. I'm going to send you back to see Judge Merritt on the 27th of November. Public defender is going to come see you before then, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Emilio Garcia III. Morning, Mr. Garcia, what's your date of birth?
10/10/71.
Anyway, I have a warrant for you out of Osceola County, 3 counts of sex battery. The judge had issued the warrant, found probable cause for those charges, and set your bond at no bond. I can't change that. We will notify the folks in Osceola County that you're here and ready to go. I'll give them 5 days to come get you. If for some strange reason you're still here in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me, and I'll find out what the holdup is, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good luck. Jonathan Gardner. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
Morning, on March 2nd, 1989.
Jonathan, this is a probable cause arrest for violation of probation. There is probable cause for the VOP. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You plan on hiring private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public Defender's Office, Your Honor.
Appoint the PD for you. The bond, of course, will be no bond. I'll have you back in court on the 27th of November. PD is going to come see you before that, okay? Thank you. Kenley Gordon. Morning, Mr. Gordon. What's your date of birth?
10/23/1991.
Kenley, I have a warrant for you signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public Defender.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond of Kenley obviously is no bond. I'm not going to change that. I'm going to change your date to November 13th at 1:15. And the public defender will come see you before that, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anthony Hall. Morning, Mr. Hall. What's your date of birth?
9/26/1963.
Mr. Hall, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public Defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond on that warrant is no bond. I can't change that. I'll send you back to see Judge Merritt on the 27th of November, and the PD will come see you before that, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. John Kolomic.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
11/21/1986.
I have 2 issues this morning, John. I have a driving under the influence and an aggravated assault. There's probable cause for both charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public Defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State what can you tell me?
This is the only history I'm showing you on.
Okay. John, I have an address for you on Crest Haven Court in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yeah, that's where it happened.
Okay. And how long have you lived there?
2 years.
Okay. And do you know personally Mr. Velez, or just somebody that lives there?
We're just neighbors.
Okay. All right. You have a job these days?
I do.
What do you do?
I'm a meat cutter at Publix.
Okay. All right. On the DUI, I'm going to set your bond at $500. That case is coming back on the 5th of December.
Can I say something really quick, sir?
You can, but I would encourage you not to speak about the facts of your case, but that's up to you.
I didn't even touch my car during this whole altercation.
Okay, see, that's what I was asking you not to say. If you were paying attention when we started, I said that all I'm doing is finding probable cause, which means more likely than not. In order for you to be found guilty of anything, the state would have to prove that you did these things beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt, a much higher standard. So as you stand before me today, I presume that you didn't do anything. I presume that you're innocent of these allegations. Everyone in this room presumes that, and that presumption of innocence is going to stay with you through the whole process. But there's enough evidence that you have to go through the process, okay?
Okay.
All right. And then as to the ag assault, I will also set your bond at $1,000, so your total is $1,500 with the 2 cases. On the ag assault, the condition of the bond is that you'll have no contact with Mr. Velez. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier?
Yes.
All right. You understood that?
Yes.
Okay, that case is coming back on the 27th of November. Now, just to clarify what no contact means in that case, if you're going to be seeing him in the parking lot and whatnot, just look away. That means no giving him the evil eye, no giving him the one-finger salute, nothing like that, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Judge, those cases being split apart.
Yeah, one's a felony and one's the DUI, and they did them separately. Ray, if you can figure it out, let me know. Not something I can fix at first appearance. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Scott, you got a plea or something?
Yes, Your Honor. Levi, take him out. This case, Your Honor, we had, it's 2018 MM 3174. There had actually been failure to appear on his part. Apparently, when his mother tried to confirm the court date with the clerk's office, there was some misspelling of his name, so there wasn't any intentional act on his part. The state has extended him a PTI offer, so we're going to accept that offer to resolve it today.
Okay, is there a case outstanding, Scott?
Yes, Your Honor. It may be in the wrong name, but...
Okay. Well, that's really a problem. What's his name?
Yeah, there's an extra S in
Okay.
the court file, but if you do it by the case,
There is, in 3174, there is a case, so,
we'd ask to recall the...
and correct the spelling and everything. Okay. Okay, so, in 18 MM 3174, I'll recall the case that was issued earlier with the not guilty and a waiver of speedy. We'll put Levi into pretrial interventions. Levi, as long as you do all those things that you've agreed to do, charges against you will be dropped like they never happened. You'll never come back to court again, all right? So, has he signed the contract? Do you have a
Yes, we have the
got it right there.
signed
You're going to sit down with Miss Nettie here for a second. We'll get you going. Good luck. Okay. Dylan McLean. Morning, Dylan. What's your date of birth?
7992.
Dylan, I have a warrant for you this morning out of the state of Vermont. Here are your options with an out-of-state warrant. You are entitled, if you wish, to have an extradition hearing. The point of an extradition hearing would be to determine if you're the right Dylan and if the state of Vermont actually has a warrant for you. That process can take up to 60 days, and while you're waiting for that to happen, I would hold you over at the county jail until we get that process completed. At the end of that process, if we determine that you are the right Dylan McLean and Vermont does have a warrant for you, I would give Vermont 15 days to make arrangements to come and get you. You may waive your right to that hearing this morning if you wish. If you waive your right to that hearing, and nobody knows better than you whether you're the right guy and Vermont has a warrant. So if you waive your right to that hearing, Vermont would be notified this morning and told that they have 15 days to come get you. If you were still here in 15 days, they'd bring you back to see me. If Vermont had taken no action to come get you, I would cut you loose. If they were on their way and could tell us exactly when they were going to be here, I might hold you for a little bit longer. But those are your choices. So with that in mind, would you like to wait around for an extradition hearing, or would you like to waive that right and put Vermont on the clock this morning?
Wait.
Very good.
Yeah.
Have you signed it already? I wasn't watching. There it comes. Awesome. What is today? 6th?
But, and which one do I...
All right, so Dylan, Vermont's going to be notified immediately. If you're still here in 15 days, they're going to bring you back to see me, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sean Morissette. Morning, Sean. What's your date of birth?
8/22/1975.
Oh, okay. All right, so Sean, I got one local issue, which is a charge of possession of drug paraphernalia There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender?
Public defender, please, sir.
Point the PD. Say, what's his history like? I mean, he's got some history out of Polk County.
He had pre-trial diversion on a Willis in 17, and other than that, Your Honor, I'm not showing any other histories at all.
Okay. State have any objection on the paraphernalia to giving him time served so he can get to Polk for all those issues?
I think that would be an appropriate resolution.
Sean, if you want, because I've got 3 warrants now out of Polk County, and one of them is a VOP that has no bond. If you like, you can plead no contest to the paraphernalia here. I'd sentence you to 1 day in the county jail, and then that case would be done, and you'd be free to go to Polk County to deal with those issues. Is that something that sounds interesting to you? Otherwise, what I'll do, frankly, Sean, the other thing that'll happen is I'll set you a bond on the paraphernalia, so you can fight that charge. If you post the bond on that paraphernalia charge, then they're going to send you to Polk County anyway.
Right.
And you'll have the charge pending here while you're in Polk County without bond.
I'm sorry. May I speak, sir?
Sure, go ahead.
I spoke with Judge Frank. I was yesterday morning. I've been trying to have this failure to appear warrant lifted now for over a week. I was just in court on Friday in Polk County for felony. As far as counsel Douglas Jackson, he advised me that the district attorney made notice of the failure to appear and sent me to the clerk's office to turn in some documentation regarding a letter that I hand wrote to Judge Franklin regarding the failure to appear, that it's just a hard mix-up, that they sent both notices to the wrong address.
Okay.
And that, so they let me walk out of Polk County with that letter.
Okay.
So I called the judge as advised yesterday morning. They called me back at about 10:30 a.m. and advised me that I had a new court date for the FDA disappearance on the 13th.
Right.
So I think for some reason there's a big mix-up of why the KPS was still withheld.
Well, yeah, it didn't get recalled, and now it's even worse than that, Sean, because the VOP I see is a PC VOP based on the paraphernalia charge. So I shouldn't even let you plead to that this morning.
Okay.
So your situation, whatever it was yesterday, has gotten considerably worse since then. So here's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
On the possession of paraphernalia, I appointed the public defender. I'm going to ROR you on that. So because you don't want to take the plea, because that'll put you in a bad way with your VOP.
Yes, sir.
That one's coming back the 5th of December. And then we have a probable cause arrest for the violation of your Polk County probation. Are you on probation in Polk County?
Yes, sir, I am. I went to, well, I was on probation in Polk. Yesterday was my transfer hearing here in Hernando.
Okay.
And when I spoke with with the judge's office yesterday, I was not told that the KPS was still in effect. They just told me that I had a new, as far as court dates, so I figured all was good. I mean, I would have tried to make as far as further calls to make sure that the KPS was in effect before I walked into
Okay, and I'm not unsympathetic to all of that, Sean. I mean, you understand the thing that's happened here that really is the monkey wrench is the paraphernalia. So
yes, I know.
okay.
That was
all right. So here, don't say anything about that. So what I'm doing is, like I said, I'm RORing you on the possession of drug paraphernalia. You do have the PC arrest for the violation of probation. There is PC for that. That is no bond. And there's the 2 fail to appear warrants, which are $1,000 each. Those are all that. Those 3 things are Polk County. Because I've ROR'd you to this morning, that Polk County can come get you on that VOP, and that the way this gets cleared up is that you get back to Polk County and all these issues get cleared up, and then we take care of your issue here in Hernando County. We appointed the public defender, so they'll be watching out for you. If you are in jail in Polk County when your court date comes up, you won't get FTA'd. Okay, we'll take care of it. Right. So I'll have you back on my local case on the 5th of December, and they're going to notify Polk right away that you're ready to go on those Polk County charges. All right.
okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. Wilson Pena.
Morning, sir.
Warren Wilson, what's your date of birth?
12/23/93.
Wilson, you are here on a warrant signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond on that warrant, of course, is no bond. I'll have you back in front of Judge Toner on the 26th of November. They told you the 27th. It'll be the 26th. PD will come see you before that, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Todd Reed. Good morning again, Todd. Date of birth?
Good morning.
Date of birth?
7/24/88.
Very good. As promised, Todd, they served that FTA warrant that we talked about yesterday. It was signed by Judge Merritt. Apparently, you failed to appear in his court on a felony to Willis, and he set the bond at $5,000. Like I told you, I'm not going to change that. I can't change that. So that one is $5,000. That one, did you want the PD?
Yes, sir, please.
Point the PD on that as well. And that one's coming back November 27th, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Brian Silver, do you have a question? Nope. Okay. Brian Silverstone?
Good morning, Your Honor.
And Brian, what's your date of birth?
1/15/1985.
Okay, Brian, I have 3 warrants. One for domestic battery that I signed, a second one for domestic battery that I signed, and a third one for disorderly conduct that was signed by Judge Merritt. So there's been probable cause established for all 3 cases. As to those cases you wish to represent yourself, you're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
If you could please appoint the public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. Stay what you tell me.
I'm not showing any history, Your Honor.
Okay. Are you his folks?
Yes.
All right, you guys just you're here to see what happens? You have something you want to tell me?
One of them is that they told us that we didn't come here, you may not let him come back home. That we
Okay.
don't feel threatened by him and want him to come
He
back.
got off that medication that he was on.
He's been in Springbrook.
Oh, I see. You guys are Russell and Nancy. All right, then you got to come up and see me. Come out to the podium.
Good morning, Mom.
My lights don't always come on fast, but they come on eventually. I have you both raise your right hands for me. Solemnly swear firm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Let's start with you, ma'am. State your name, please.
Nancy Silverstone.
Nancy. I know this is a silly question, but I have to ask this. How long have you known Brian?
33 years.
Okay. And you're his biological mother is what you're telling me. Okay. And are you concerned that Brian is going to hurt you or harm you in any way?
Not any longer.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you to get you to come here and say you want to have contact with him?
No, sir.
And you're okay with him coming back home?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Russell, I'll have you state your name on the record for me.
Russell Silverstone,
All right, Russell, how long have you known Brian?
33 years.
Okay. You're his biological father?
Yes,
Are you concerned that he's going to hurt you or harm you in any way?
not at all.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you to get you to come here and ask for contact?
No.
Okay. And then, Mr. Larison, you told me there's no history, is that right?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. And, Brian, are you working these days?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
I'm currently signed up for bartending school.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do, on each one of these, I'm going to set a bond of $10. So your total bond is going to be $30. Your mom and dad can come
Thank you,
down
Your Honor.
to jail this morning and get you out. Now here's the deal. You're allowed to have contact with them, but it has to be contact that can be described as peaceful contact. It is always a crime to touch either of your parents in any way they do not want to be touched. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. If you have any contact with them, it can't be described as peaceful contact. So that would mean so much as raising your voice or shaking a fist or something like that, and I find out about it, you will find yourself back in the Hernando County Jail without bond, and that will be in spite of anything that they might say to me at that point. So you are going to redouble your efforts so that any contact you have with them is going to be peaceful contact. Are we clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Let's see. And then, misdemeanors. Okay, so I'm going to have you back in court on all 3 charges. On the 5th of December, as it turns out, that'll be me. You'll be in front of me for your cases. So I assume your folks will be here when you come on the 5th. And if they tell me that you have misbehaved in any way, I will take a very dim view of that. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You guys understand that? Two things. One, I'm your guy. If you contact me and let me know that there's a problem, I'm going to fix your problem, okay? Two, if something happens all of a sudden or late at night and you're concerned or worried and think it's time to dial 911, you still get to do that. Nothing has changed about that. If you need 911, you call 911. They will come running as fast as they ever would have, all right? All right, any questions? Yes, sir. All right, $30, you can go get them.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you'll be back on the 5th of December on all of these, Brian.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. That's the third, Your Honor.
5th is fine. We'll figure it out.
May I ask a question?
Sure you can. Come on back.
It's only, we don't know how this works. Will he be released right now, or?
Well, I will tell you this. The jail is a big and busy place, and it moves at its own pace.
Okay.
It'll be sometime within the next few hours that they get him ready, but you should go now because the sooner you're there with your $30, the sooner
right.
he gets out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Kassar Thompson.
How you doing, Judge?
Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
092895.
Kassar, I have a warrant for you out of Pasco County, it looks like. Apparently you failed to appear down there on some misdemeanor. Let's see. Driving on a suspended license. The judge that issued that warrant for you, Kassar, set a bond of $513. If you have the ability to post that bond, you can get out of jail here, go down to Newport Richie, find out when they want you in court. If you can't post that bond, I will give Pasco 5 days to come pick you up. Doesn't take 5 days with Pasco, but if for some strange reason you're still here in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me and we'll find out what the problem is, all right?
All right, so when for this is the $50 bond, 10% of that would be $50. Am I right?
10% would be $51.30, but I'm not a bondsman, so I'm not sure what the deal on that will be. So I have a feeling, because I know some bondsmen, that they might want $100 just because they don't get anything less than $100.
Yeah, I understand that, but they were saying something about a house. Do you need a house for you? What would you need? They didn't say collateral. They said something about a house.
Okay, well again, Kassar, that's a conversation that you'll have to have with the bondsman because that's not my business.
All right, thank you.
All right, bud.
And one more thing, Judge.
Sure,
I'm sorry.
that's all right.
So if I found out here, am I straight in Hernando County to get out?
I haven't done anything to your open cases, so whatever your situation with your Hernando County cases is, that's still the situation. You got a bondsman on those cases?
Well, I was already out on bond.
I know, but so you have a relationship with a bondsman on your felony cases?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Quite frankly, I would suggest that that's the person you should call because they really have the right to know about your issue in Pasco County and decide whether or not that's a problem, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Jennifer Huber? Hi, Jennifer. All right. Is this yours, Ray? Yep. Looks like she just pled to 8 months. You just took 8 months, Jennifer?
Yes, sir.
And is she a time served state?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long have you been in jail, Jennifer?
Since September 26th.
Okay. All right. You understand by entering a plea in this case, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, but you want to give up those rights so we can resolve this case today?
Yes, please.
In case number 18MM3139, as to the charge of trespass, how do you wish to plead? You may plead no contest.
No contest.
I'll accept that plea, find that it's freely and voluntarily made. I will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 30 days in the county jail, credit 30 days served. There'll be a fine and court cost of $553, $100 for the public defender's office, no cost of incarceration as that would have been assessed already. And that takes care of your misdemeanor, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Rashawn Robinson.
Judge?
What's that?
Is that all she got? Just a trespass?
Yeah. That's all I got there. All right. And let's see. And Mr. Robinson, have you resolved the felony, or what's your situation?
Yes, sir, it was all felony.
3 years of probation you got. There it is. Okay. All right. And let's see. Okay. And how long you been in jail?
22 days, sir.
Okay. You want to take time served on this misdemeanor, get out and do your probation?
Yes, sir.
Very good. You understand by entering a plea, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent. But you want to give up those rights so we can take care of this today?
Yes, sir.
Case number 18, CT2072. As to the charge, you operated a vehicle without a valid driver's license. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
Yes, sir.
I'll accept that plea, find that it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 20 days in the county jail, credit 20 days served. Fine and court cost is $488, $100 for the public defender's office, but that takes care of your misdemeanor. If there's nothing else keeping you in the jail, you'll be released today, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Jail, you got anything else? All right. Mr. Warren, stay.